Now, Willie Nelson is one of the most legendary names in all of music, but what's almost as famous as Willie is his bus, or his cannabis, as I like to call it. My first thing is to tell you that I've been chasing you around for 3 years, trying to get you to do this TV show with me.
Really?
Yeah, and you finally slowed down enough where I caught you. All the years you've been cruising around in this bus, I mean, smoking dope and stuff, and some of them old times, like in the 70s, did you ever get arrested in this damn thing?
Oh, I've been arrested in everything I've owned, I think.
I guess that was a stupid question, because I just thought to myself, back in the old days, driving through, Alabama and, and Arkansas.
Alabama, hell, Texas is as bad as any of them.
Yeah, but you're from Texas. They probably got a good out of jail free card. No?
They'll give me a nice cell.
I love it, Willie. What an outlaw. So been around doing this so damn long. I mean, I'm getting old myself, but
I can't tell. You look like you did last time.
I feel pretty good, but I'm just, for me, it's like people used to always say to me when I was in Van Halen and back in the 70s even, they'd be saying, "Hey, Sammy, you're 40 now. How long you think you can keep on doing this?" It's like,
you hear that every day.
I mean, really, people would never say that to you now, right?
Oh, they say it all the time.
What the hell's wrong with them, Willie? Do you straighten them out?
I said, this is my last tour. I said,
like the last one.
Yeah, every time I said, no, this is the last one.
How many shows a year are you doing?
Well, I don't know. 150, 200 days, I guess. So we've been doing that ever since I was this tall. So.
Wow. How do you get your voice? How does your voice stay?
Well, the voice seems to be doing all right,
But you don't get hoarse after?
Not that much. Not
Damn.
that much. I stay pretty active. I don't, not as active as I was when I was 20, but I still do. I do ride a bike and run and jog a little bit. But I think the best thing for me is working. Is getting out there for an hour or whatever, and using the biggest muscle that I got, which is my lungs.
I wrote down a bunch of crazy questions here, but I just talking to you is an honor in itself. But who's your best friend today in this world today?
Oh, probably the old gal back there, Anne Marie, yeah.
That's good. You gave me the right damn answer. I should say that more often about my wife. But
well, it's true.
Yeah.
When everybody else is against you, she's usually there, and tell you what you want to hear.
How'd you outlive all your old buddies?
I wonder that myself.
So you didn't do anything different? You weren't
No,
like the guy
I keep hearing about them dying every day. We lost Roy Clark a couple of days ago, and all these good buddies of mine, and I don't know why I'm still here. I haven't done anything extraordinary to stay here.
You weren't the guy that said, "No, I've had enough. No, I'm going to go home now." You weren't that guy?
Not yet, no. Not yet.
I know. I've seen you over at Shep's house rolling later than me. I see myself leaving before you. I left you and Chris there one year. What do you do with your time off?
If I'd like to have something, I'll tell you.
Oh, shit, you can take it off.
I haven't been off. Look at my schedule. I hadn't been off in a while, and I'm getting ready to get a few days off down here in Texas, and that's cool.
And what do you do? What do you do on a day?
I got some horses I like to hang out with, and got a golf course down there. If it ever quits raining, we'll go play.
I remember you had a golf course a long time. We had that a long time.
Yeah, you play still?
No,
yeah.
I'm too young.
Yeah. Well, the pro told me to take 2 weeks off and quit.
Tell me about Farm Aid, though. How's
We had a good one this year,
Yeah.
Had a lot of folks showed up. It was a sellout, and we raised some money for the farmers out there, and we've been doing it a whole lot of years now.
Yeah, no, it's honorable. You
30-something years, I think. And you would think at one point that our government would be smart enough to take care of our farmers. They're not. But the small family farmer is basically on his own out there, so all of us have been trying to help a little along the way.
Yeah, I'm really, really impressed with that whole thing. I played Farm Aid 2 back in 1984,
Cool.
85, and Van
80,
Halen,
yeah.
it was when I joined Van Halen, we hadn't announced yet. Well, I announced it on stage at Farm Aid, but I went on there and I said, I had a song called I Can't Drive 55, and I said, here's a song for Champaign, Illinois. Here's a song for all you tractor pulling motherfuckers. And they pulled everything off the air, and I felt so bad about that. I've never been invited back, and I talked to Mellencamp about it.
You can't say tractor.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
That's what it was.
Well, Willie finally straightened my ass out on that. I thought it was motherfucker.
No, that's cool. I thought that was funny,
back.
man. I thought that was great.
Well, I'll be happy to come back, you know, and
on.
redeem myself,
Come
and
on.
make me
There's
feel good
nothing to
because I
redeem.
love
Come
that.
on back. Yeah.
Well, I caused a little trouble, but I guess.
Good.
But
That's
you
what
have
we
never
do,
caused any
yeah.
trouble, right, Willie? You've
That's
never
what
caused
we
any
do.
trouble. Who's the greatest songwriter ever lived?
I don't know. You got to talk about Merle Haggard and Hank Williams, and then you start guessing. You got Chris Christopherson and Billy Joe Shaver, you know. And then you start running out of names.
I was curious because you, great songwriter yourself, you've written so many different kinds of songs. I mean, you know, you've written them old standard classics and stuff, and then you turn around and write, you know, Roll Me Up and Smoke Me When I Die. I'm going,
It's my favorite so far.
well, it's one of my favorites too. I got to tell you,
Crazy, I wrote Crazy. The original title was Stupid.
Well, I don't think it would have been quite the hit, but you never know, because that melody and that phrasing and all that on that song, that's a wonderful song. But what do you think's the best song you ever wrote? Crazy?
Oh, I don't know. That's probably
Roll Me Up.
one of them. Patsy Cline had such a great record on that, and it was like the #1 all-time jukebox song for a while. So yeah, that's one. Nightlife, Funny How Time Slips Away.
Yeah, those are standards. To have written a standard, to me, you know, as a songwriter, I'm going, man, I hope I've written a standard. You know, I gotta live long enough
sure
to
you
find
have.
out.
I'm
You
sure
know,
you
I might have one or two. I know I got a couple of rock standards, but so I'd have this crazy little game that I play, this or that. Now, and this or that. First of all, Will, I got to tell you, I'm a nervous fucking wreck sitting here talking to you. You realize
Good, good.
you're intimidating. Whether you're the sweetest, gentlest looking human being on the planet, but you're intimidating the fuck out of me. I just had to get that off my chest.
Good.
Now, but so that this or that thing is where now it's my turn to try to get back at you a little bit, Willie. So you can't. I don't want to hear you say, well, both of them, or well, how about, you know, this one or that. It's like, you know, just boom, right? You know, just give your gut on this shit, right?
No. Okay.
Okay.
I'm trying to get my answers ready.
You follow your head or your heart?
Usually, instincts, whatever that is, wherever that comes from.
I would think. That would be my thing. Austin or Maui?
That's a hard one.
Oh, it is. Texas or Maui? How about Texas? We'll make it. No,
well,
we'll make it so
you
personal.
know, Texas is my home, and there's no place better, you know, in my opinion. Maui's great. It's a good place to go. It's probably the most desirable spot on the planet right now because everybody in the whole world is headed toward Maui. That's cool, you know. There's plenty of room over there.
Acoustic or electric?
Well, I like an electric acoustic, you know. I like trigger with an amp.
I played that guitar a minute ago.
Did you?
Oh,
cool.
man.
Cool. It's a
Well,
good guitar.
I had goosebumps on my damn arms. Well, I picked it up. They're coming back now. Just telling you.
Just thinking about it.
Oh, it was
Oh,
just damn.
Trigger's
thanks,
great.
Thank you, my friend.
My
God bless
pleasure.
you.
My pleasure, Sammy.